Hey everybody, it's Christine Bertram, and I'm coming to you live from Diane and Bogey's house here in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. We had some technical difficulties back in the hive, like we have been experiencing for the last week for some unknown reason at this point. We haven't figured it out apparently. Hi Janet Flay, hi Cindy Runtree again. Hi Ethel King. Thanks for sharing, Cindy. I so greatly appreciate it. Yes, this is the video that you want to share. I am almost 100% positive that this video should go off without a hitch, you guys. I'm up and running. Hi, Becky Rohr. Hi, Susan Bellamy. I will honestly tell you guys, I have... It's so weird. I hear myself in Diane's house. So I can't tell you what's going on with my internet back in the hive, but I can tell you that we have tried and tried and tried many countless hours. I have to say I had my electrician over yesterday from 9:30 until 6:15. You guys, the poor guy was leaving for vacation today, and he tried and tried, and everything that we did not fix it. And then on top of it, I had my Spectrum guy over for an hour helping as well. And everything that we thought we did would fix it, and it doesn't. So, hi Judy Immel, hi Nicole Herrick, hi Dawn Avlett, hi Susan Ray Hendricks, and Carol Alanis, hi Deb Norman, hi Yvonne Cooper, yay, you guys are all rolling back in. Hi Feline Mays. So, if you remember last time on Monday, I buffered in the beginning for like a few minutes, and then it stopped. Hi Vicki Rodriguez, hi Susan Warmley. So, if it does buffer, you guys, all I can tell you is just stop watching it. You won't hurt my feelings if you don't watch me live. I absolutely love it when you watch me live, but if it's buffering, then it's going to be a pain in the butt. So on Monday night, it was buffering, and then all of a sudden, like that, it stopped. And I know people had left, and then they came back when they tried again later. So just give it a little bit, you guys. We're not sure like why it's doing that, but we do know on Monday it did it as well, and then it kind of stopped. So we're gonna give it a little try here. Hi Linda Hunt, hi Becky Christensen, hi Connie Moore, hi Diane Bogenhagen, long time no see. Hi Suzanne Neal. Okay, so again, you guys, I'm seeing the same thing. I'm watching right here, and it's showing buffering, the little spinny thing. We'll just see how it goes. Feline, you're still in Idaho. Hoping that your great-granddaughter will be released to come home in the next few days. That would be awesome. Hi, Maria Gilbertson. Hi, Sherry Martin. Thanks for sharing. We do know that after this video is ended and I hit the finish button and it finishes processing, it is in the YouTube channel. Hi, Jean Turbliger. It's in the YouTube channel. And then if you watch the replay, it doesn't buffer. So I will tell you guys, I have a new modem. I have one new router. I have a new little silver box that is coming into the house that the cord comes in and then the other cord comes out. That's new. They gave me a new coaxial jack. They went up and climbed the telephone pole or whatever pole contains the wires for the internet, and the guy swapped them all out. And yeah, we changed the channels. We looked for firmware. We did a lot of testing, and who knows? So now I will call Charter or Spectrum for the third time and see if the third time is the charm, you guys. You know what they say? Third time's a charm. So hi, Karen Carstay. Hi, Debbie Gast. So I'm happy that you guys are all here with me. We're going to do the envelope book tonight. It's I did bamboozle a lot of people with this book, I think, because it wasn't like what you were expecting when you got your bag or your little baggie full of all your goodies in there. So so this Sale-a-Bration celebration that we're doing tonight was earned free. You couldn't buy a spot per se. It was earned for people who placed at least $150 worth of orders with me. I also invited anybody from my team who was new and placed their first order as like a learning exercise, kind of to show them what it's like to do a class and how to kit it up, and then to watch and get ideas. Hi Shirley Malarkey, hi Mary Jean Kiebert. And then also I had two people on my team, the Be Happy Stampers, who earned spots. and they earn spots by having 2 people join their team. So Miss Shelly Schultz and Miss Penny Powell both had 2 people join their teams, and so that prompted them to be invited. So it was so exciting. You guys, we had 60 people that are doing this class. Hi, Denise Paulo. So Denise, I don't know if you saw it, but you won one of the Sale-a-Bration boards. The drawing was on Monday night, and it was for a $25 gift certificate for product. So the next time you go to place an order, you'll get $25 off. So we'll talk more. There's always, it's like a Menards rebate kind of. And so I was saying, you guys, that there's 60 people. I made 60 of these kits, and I'm going to do roll call for those 60 people. And if you're here watching live, great. And if you are watching via the replay later in life, that's great too. Just call out that you're here. No, it's not something that's happening at Diane's house. This happened on Monday night as well, Linda Hunt. It happened at Diane's house on Monday when I was here, and it stopped within 10 minutes. We were all worried, and like people were messaging me that it's buffering, and I'm like, and all of a sudden it just stopped. So I want to give it at least 10 minutes because that's about what time it stopped buffering last time. And I'll be honest with you, I have no idea. I don't think there's anything wrong in our area. I called Spectrum. They probably called them 6 times, even though the technician only came out twice. I probably talked to them 6 times. And every time, there's no outage in the area. There's no this, there's no that. Nope, everything looks fine on our end. It's like, I just want to be like, you just don't have the right equipment. So I don't know. We'll see. But you guys, again, I'm going to tell you, if you don't want to watch through the buffering, you don't have to. I don't want to keep missing classes and not doing them. And for the most part, at my house, it was buffering every 10 seconds. Like for Diane here, it's doing a little bit of buffering, but we're going to give it a chance. And worst case scenario, you guys, I'll do this class and the replay will be there for you. And then you can always catch the replay. It's okay. You know, I have a big retreat this weekend with 11 people at my house, and I have the Memories and More class tomorrow, which I'm going to do at 3 o'clock instead of 3:30 because I have people starting to come over at 6 tomorrow to get set up for the retreat. So I'm going to do this class right now, and hopefully, it kind of clears itself with the buffering. So you guys, there's 2 different things that happen with internet, and I've learned this. There's uploading, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm uploading this video to the web, right? To the magical land of above, that like the internet world, right? So I'm uploading, and then you guys that are watching this are downloading. You're taking something from the internet and putting it into your phone, right? So there's 2 different things going on, and the uploading is on my end, it seems, because for my house, my uploading numbers were super low. They should be at 11. They're at 1. So I did a test right before I went live at 5:55, you guys, and my test showed 11. And I'm like, oh, good. Life is great. I'm going to get to go live in the Hive tonight. And then it was like, yup, nope. So something's still going on. And my numbers weren't good for the test. And they lied to me. The test lied to me. So I don't know. So we'll see. We're gonna keep going, you guys. So good you were able to go live. Yeah, so Judy Sharp, hi. We went live Tuesday from Diane's house, and it was no problem. And I went live on Monday night, and again, it was the first 10 minutes that we had issues, and then after that, it cleared up. So, yay, Janet's a new team member, yay, yep. So, all right, you guys, I'm gonna go through and do roll call. I will eventually, throughout class, share some cards with you just to tell you guys what's coming up. Hi, Lynn Beasley. Oh, she got her treat. Yay. So, oh, yay. Yvonne Cooper's got her kit too. Okay, you guys, we're going to do roll call. So we've got Carla Lake, Shirley Malarkey, Shirley Vanderblumen, Angela Knutson, Millie Kindle, Carmen Sanders, Sherry Martin, Jean Terwilliger, Michelle Cinto, Francis Rodriguez, Linda Hunt, Lynn Beasley, Sharon Rush, Barbara Rudolph, Cindy Runtree, Lynette Mooney, Yvonne Cooper, Anna Rebedu, Dar McCarthy, Shelley Schultz, Penny Powell, Maggie Cooper, Lori Kaiser, Beverly Smith, Debbie Schultz, Vonda Saya, Luann Trumpauer, Donna Toller, Judy Bobo, Becky Gandolfo, Janet Flay, Barb Barco, Karen Woods, Carolyn Ketchmark, Karen Stagg, Laura Sullivan, Becky Rohrer, Sandy Wicklander, Jeannie Parker, Donna Grushke, Vicky Rodriguez, Sherry Everett, Elaine Rebeck, Diana Muldoon, Debbie Gast, and Tammy Steckling. Hi, Francis. I'm glad you found me as well. So yes, you guys, I am very aware that it's freezing and uploading. Just use your own discretion if you want to watch or not, right? So again, you can watch the replay. And I've said that about 3 times now. As more people come on, I am aware of it, but it's not as bad as if I was doing it at my house. So yay. Okay, so thank you for everybody who's part of this tonight with us doing the Sale-a-Bration celebration. I do want to put out there that this is the same project that we did for the Winter Creative Escape, which was the demonstrator only event that I did back in January. And there were some people that reached out and said, hey, hi Holly Poplo. They said, we have our products yet. We never put our kits together. Can we make it with you tonight? I'm like, of course you can. So go for it. Absolutely, you guys. And this project, even though those 60 people got kits, this is a great project for anybody that wants to watch to make this book. It's a super cool book. So I did this class in person on Saturday with 4 people, and I did it in person last night I had 7 people, and people loved it. And so I'll flip the camera down here and share with you guys what we're going to be making. And I'm going to share with you what you got in your goodie bag, or like your treat thing too. I got to talk to you guys about the treat thing. And so that little treat thing it's from Stampin' Up. They're paper pumpkin, like past paper pumpkins, and they made them into kits. And they put them on the Sale-a-Bration offer for $50. You could get a box of them, and it made 8. So you guys, it's like, oh, I'll get so smart, and I'll give everybody one of these treats for their gift for doing this class with me. And so what I'm thinking, so big shout out, you guys. Chris Duderenke made all of those for us to give to you guys. And she told me that they were all popping open. She made them all, and like they all started to pop open. And what we determined is the tear and tape that is coming in that kit, the little pillow box kit, is old. I would guess that it's at least 2 to 3 years old. And so that's my guess why Stampin' Up! Put it on that offering to help move it out of inventory. And the tear and tape wasn't sticking. So I will bet you guys any money that over 80% of the treats that you guys got, they probably popped open in shipping. Like the candy that's in them, like it was probably just a little bit too thick for the pillow box, and it like was enough to make it so it popped open. So all you have to do, if you guys are wanting to like re-gift that little pillow box, all you have to do is, I think, put a little bit of glue along the seam and then hold it and really glue it good. Oh, thanks, Dawn. Perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I'm watching right along with you guys, and every minute or two it does do a little white thing, like the little white spinny thing, but it's getting through it. So I appreciate that, Dawn. Okay, so your little treat things are little chocolaties that you guys got. And then I'm going to flip the camera down and show you guys here. So basically what you guys got in your kits is a pile of paper, is really what it is. And you're like, how are we going to make this beautiful book that looks something like this, right? We're going to make this beautiful book with all these pages. And people were like, why did we get this? Like, I loved it. I'm like, it was such trickery, you guys. So throughout Sale-a-Bration, you could get, with a $100 order, you could get a pack of this designer series paper. It was called Dandy Designs. And hi, Millie Kindle. And I gave everybody 2 sheets of 6x6. It was just easier for shipping. I cut it down. So you got 2 of each sheets. Originally, I was only going to give everybody 1 sheet, but I thought, well, if you're working on your book and you want your front and your back covers to match, or if you want your inside covers to match, you're going to want 2 sheets. So I did. I went ahead and I gave everybody 2 sheets, 2 scoops and 2 sheets, just instead of 1. All right. So that's where this comes in. You're like, well, that's a lot of paper. What am I going to do with it? You guys, you're going to have to, and this is what I told the person, you have to exercise your creativity. So Janet, you said you think it stopped. I'm watching right along. For my house, It's a little bit delayed, right? So you guys are way behind me at the moment, but it's still going. Hi, Karen Wetstein. Yours isn't buffering any longer. Yay. And Cindy says it's looking better too. So that's good. Yay. Awesome. All right. It just probably needed a moment to get situated. So mine hasn't buffered for at least a couple minutes. So that's good. Okay. So back to this, you guys. You got a whole bunch of paper. Yes, Dawn said it's not buffering anymore. And Denise said it stopped too. Perfect. Okay. So you guys, what's going to happen is honestly, you are a bit behind me because every time your phone had to stop for the buffering, it actually delayed what you're seeing. And so you're probably 5 minutes behind me, I'm guessing at this point. So when you ask me a question or if you comment on something that needs an answer, it might help to be very descriptive for me so I know what it is you're talking about. So we're going to get through this, you guys. But I want you guys, you're going to have to exercise your creativity with this. And we're going to go through and work on this book. But yes, this is accurate. People, it was a late, when more than 3 people ask me about something, I think, oh man, I bet more are wondering, but they don't ask. So you guys got a pack of this paper. There's actually 24 sheets here because there's 12 different pages. All right, so you got that in your kit. You got 2 of these pieces of cardboard. You guys, these cardboard pieces are from Amazon. About 400 of them, right? So this is 2. Everybody got 2. I needed 200 for the escape, and you guys with 60 of these for this class, that was 120. And so I've got a few left, right? But you're very welcome, Cindy. Hi, Linda Hunt. Oh, you're here. Yay, you were here before. Hi, Hildy. These are 4.5 by 6 inches. They're thin cardboard. I would equate them to maybe the same thickness as like the white backing that you get on your designer series paper, maybe just a hair stiffer, right? But it's about the same thickness. So if you want to make, hi Jeannie Parker, hi Luann Chumpauer. I'm glad to hear that you guys said the buffering has stopped. That's great. It's catching up. So if you guys want to do this again, you could use something like a thicker card stock like this that you can cut. Hi Becky Gandolfo. No, I'm over by Diane and Bogey's house right now. It's Becky, so it didn't stop. It's still not working for me. So, all right, so you guys got 2 of these. And again, you can improvise and use something similar if you want to make another book like this in the future. Okay, so you got those 2. And then what you guys got are 10 envelopes and 10 note cards. And you're like, why did she give us cardstock and paper and she's gonna make us work for this project? I'm like, yup. So you guys, you got 10 envelopes and you got 10 note cards. These are from, in case anybody's wondering, these came from the add-on paper pumpkin that was back in December. And so that had 20 envelopes and 20 note cards, and it had 5 of each of these colors. It had 5 with the balmy blue. We had 5 with the green, I don't know, mint maybe. It's a different, there's 5 with gray, and then there's 5 with pink. And what I did is I gave everybody a half a pack. So in some instances, people will have 3 blues. In another instance, people have 2 blues. And then somebody will have 3 greens, the next person will have 2 greens, and then 3, 2, 3, 2, right? So what happens though, you should have the matching here where if you have 3 blue envelopes, you should have 3 blue of these. Now, I'm going to put this out here. I'm giving permission to anybody and everybody who has this kit that if you do not want to make this envelope book, you will not hurt my feelings, you will not make me sad, you will not make me anything. I'm okay with it. This product is yours now. It's in your hands to do with it what you want to. Oh yes, correct, Penny. Yours was open, but it didn't make the candy taste different. Perfect, good. Yeah, and I knew that. Like I squeezed them all, one more good squeeze before I put them in the packages, and then I like sent them on their merry way. And I thought, you know what, it's gonna be what it's gonna be, and I'm just gonna tell everybody. You can add some more adhesive, and hopefully it sticks if you add a little bit more adhesive. In some cases, I tried to even rip some of the tear tape off and re-glue it. And it's just, I don't know. So, but back to my note, you guys. Do whatever that you want. You have 10 note cards. You have 10 envelopes. You have 2 cardboard pieces. And you have 24 sheets of beautiful designer series paper. do with it what you want. Just make something pretty, right? Or like, don't let it sit in the corner for forever. What we are going to do tonight is make this book almost to completion. We're going to get it set up where all you have to do is cut your designer series paper and your note cards apart and to decorate. But I'm going to go through and show you how I stamped my book, and then how I glued it together and got it to a point where it's together, to basically get it to a point where you can add pictures or embellish it how you want. So with that being said, people are like, well, what am I going to do with this book? You can use it as a brag book. You could put your pictures of your grandchildren in it. You could if you have somebody that's having a baby in your life, you could make the book for them. Like Carissa was making a book, and she was going to make it for, I believe, her cousin's having a baby, or a niece. I can't remember, Chris. I don't know if you're watching, but you were making it for somebody in your family. Hi, Sue Beasley from Australia. Well, I shouldn't have put myself on the spot like that. I'm like, because somebody else was talking about it last night, that they were using it in the same fashion, and now I can't remember who was what. But they were going to make it so that there's 12 pages in the book. Hi, Susan Ray Hendricks. So there's 12 pages in the book. See, right now I only give you 10 envelopes, right? But you could use 2 more envelopes and make it be 12 pages, and then you could have it like 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then whoever gets the book could put a picture of the baby at 1 month, 2 month, 3 months, all the way up to 12 months, and then it's a year-long baby book. The other idea I had is that there are pockets. So there's pockets here. You can choose to cover them up. If you want to put paper on them, you can. If you want to use the pockets, you can. I was thinking if you had somebody's birthday or Christmas and you wanted to get them gift cards or gift certificates to some places, you could put one in one pocket, and you could put one in another pocket, and then you could put one in another pocket. You can do whatever you want for your book. The other thing too is Memories and More. They make note cards and envelopes. Like we have the Memories and More class that's coming up tomorrow. And so I have, oh man, I got a big goo ball. Huh. Oh man, where did that come from? Hang on, we can take care of it. That's why we have adhesive erasers, you guys. Look at that, comes right off then. Nice. Oh, it was a gem that just fell off too, you guys. I lost a gem. Okay, so anyways, the note cards and envelopes from the Memories and More are colored. I don't have the envelopes here, but they have this bluesies and the orangies and the pinksies on them. And so you could use this whole Memories and More card kit, the note cards, envelopes, and the card pack to make a book as well. And then what you would need though is you would need a bigger like book cover here. Like this pages would just need to be a little bit bigger. Hi, Carissa. Okay, so, oh, you guys, I got my Love Monkeys on. I even have this shirt on. Look at this. It's got a monkey on it. I'm supporting the Love Monkeys. You guys, they're a local band that are out of Milwaukee. They play good music. Tammy Stecklin's watching, and she says, fun paper. Great. Okay, so I'm trying to, like, prepare you guys mentally for what you're going to use your book for, because in the PDF instruction, it's like, it just has a few measurements, and it just says use what you want, use whatever stamps you want, use whatever paper you want. It's what you want it to be, right? So right now, for those that have your products, we're going to work with what I have given you. It was really funny, you guys. Mary Lemke came to her first class in the Hive last night, and because she had earned this class, and she didn't want to cover up like the envelope flaps, and she didn't want to cut the note cards, and I'm like, but we got to the point where it's like, it's only paper. We can cut it. It's okay. So what I'm going to do with you guys is I'm going to get you to the point, we're going to stamp, and then we're going to assemble the book, and then we're going to talk about decorating it and get a binding on it and all that good stuff. And we're getting to a point where you're ready to pretty much cut your papers and decorate it. Does that sound okay? I think that is my game plan for you. So what we're going to be using tonight for class is there's 2 stamp sets. And I'm going to think about where I have them sitting. You guys, everything got thrown in a bag in a hurry, but I found them. I see them. So what we're going to be using tonight for class, we are going to be using these 2 stamp sets. They are from the Regency Park Suite. They're called Petal Park and Sentimental Park. Okay, so I've already pulled out different stamps. I've pulled out different inks, and that's what we're going to focus on. I did also bring along the punch, because that's the flower that gets punched out here on the top. Okay, ink colors, you guys. Now, I had put in the instruction, you guys. I was very vague in the PDF instruction. I was like, whatever ink colors you want to use. So, honestly, this is what we've been using for the book that is in front of you. So, we're going to be using all these different colors. I've got Blushing Bride, Pool Party, Basic Gray, Petal Pink, Calypso Coral, Balmy Blue, Mint Macaron, and the Freshest of the Freesias. So, those are the ink colors. And so, for right now, you really don't need anything. Oh, you can make it into a journal. Okay, yeah, so you guys, Mary Lemke, she left from Sioux Falls, near Sioux Falls, South Dakota. She's here now through the weekend because she came for the retreat. She's going to make this book, is that what she thought, was going to make this book into a little book of a memory book of her trip down here and spending the time down here. And so, very cool. You can, and journal. You could also add lines to the page. Yeah, you can make it into a little journal book. Okay, but for right now, you guys, we do not need these at the moment. We will, though. I should say that we will. So we're gonna start with cutting something, actually, because this is what we did in class last night. This front cover here. Oh, it was for your cousin, and she loved it. Okay, that's because I'm like, it's not a nephew. It wasn't a niece, Carissa, and I thought it was a cousin. Okay, good, perfect. Hi again, Judy Bobo. We are gonna cut this. Now, people are like in class. They're like, well, where are our white scraps to stamp our flowers on? Because there's a couple in here that they're on white paper. I'm like, hey, it's part of this. Because on one side, it's a color. On the other side, it's white. I did not put scraps of white paper in everybody's kits. I figured that you have enough between these. These were not intended to make cards, but if you want to make cards, you can. These were intended for you to cut up and use on the inside of your book. Like in this case, there's one right here. There's a white mat. That is actually from here, right? So we are actually going to use these bases. So you might want to pick one that has a, I actually will go with the gray because gray is what I used for the back. Now, I will tell you in class with last night and Saturday, everybody made their book pretty much identical to this one, right? So that you have a sample, you can go and make another one later in life different, but everybody's like, let's just keep it simple. And it was really easy for stamping to keep it the same as well. So we're gonna make it pretty much the same. But again, if you don't like purple, let's say you hate purple, and that's okay. Not everybody loves purple. You're just not on team purple then. But if you want this to be blue on the outside, you could have used the Balmy Blue mat. You guys, this is your time to be exercising your creativity. If you want pink to be on the outside, do that. What was really cool about these card bases that were part of that Paper Pumpkin add-on is a lot of these colors coordinated with, like the purple goes with the gray, the blue goes with the blue and the green. Everything kind of went nicely together. That's why we opted to go with this add-on pack and give you envelopes out of that versus just plain white envelopes. But first things first, it could be a Mother's Day gift. It would be an awesome one at that. Yes, Linda Hunt. Okay, we need to let's cut this. Now, I will tell this to you too. If you do not want to cut your card bases and you want to cut your own mats using your own paper, you're welcome to. You do not have to cut these card bases apart if you think you'd rather use them to make cards. All right, but then that's on you to go to your drawer or wherever you have your paper and grab whatever you want, okay? I'm okay with that. I know it's really hard to cut up these these note cards. So, all right, but what we're gonna do, because I'm working within the realm of the products I gave you, this is 2 3/4 by 4. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna get this cut at 2 3/4 by 4. So you guys, all these note cards do have, hi Linda Kester, they do have a score line here. So the score is at 4 1/4, so I'm gonna cut it at 4 here, right in front of the score line. This is going to be used to stamp our flowers on. So I am gonna set it right there. Now, I said 4 by 2 3/4, right? So flip it this way, and we're gonna do 2 3/4. Now this is our basic gray mat for here. Now the mat that is on top of it is the back side of this piece, and it is 1/4 inch less on 2 sides. So instead of 4, you're gonna want 3 3/4. So 3 3/4, and then flip it, And instead of 2 3/4, I just saw myself give you guys the monkey. Oh, it's so funny. Okay, so 2 1/2 right here. And then, so basically I did on the long side and the short side, I just took basically that 1/4 of an inch off. All right, that is the mat that's now gonna go on the front. And I said, you guys, if you wanna use your own white paper at home, you can, and not have to use that card, it's fine. But that's all we're gonna need to do for cutting for the moment. Now we're gonna get into some stamping. Okay, I will talk about this too. These envelopes, what's sad about them is you won't get to see these beautiful colored flaps. It's okay, it's just paper. And we had to get that through our head a lot last night, but it's just paper. You are gonna cover them because how this book actually gets glued together is you glue the flaps. So what happens is like this flap right here is gonna get glued to the back of this one, right? And then this flap here, you're gonna glue right over that pretty blue. It's gonna go right over the top and get glued. And so that's gonna help connect them. So you just gotta get it in your head, the flap is going away pretty much because it will end up getting covered underneath paper. Okay, so when we stamp the book, ultimately, I gave you 10 sheets. All right, sorry, well, that's true, 10 envelopes and 10 note cards. And I put 10 in the back in my book, but thank you to Susan Warmly. We had a nice FaceTime chat, and she showed me how to finish off the book. At the Winter Crave Escape, I had left it like this, and I'm like, I challenged somebody to help me figure out a great way to end off the book. And so she came up with a great idea of actually taking the very last envelope and putting it this way, and then gluing it to the very last page like this, and then gluing it to that. And so you have that. So with that being said, that's the only minor alteration that I'm going to show you different from my book, which eventually I will go and I'll glue an envelope onto this and then put more pieces of designer paper over the top and finish it off. But you could also leave it open like that, but it does really look unfinished. So, all right. So that was a little bit about the envelopes. All right. Let's talk about the stamping. Now, depending on what you guys are going to use, you definitely do want to stamp your envelopes first. Carissa taught me this. When I made this book, I was glue happy to the nth degree, and I glued everything together. And then I went by Carissa, and she helped me like figure out stuff. And I was like, now I gotta stamp it while it's a book? Shoot. So like I had to take and like put my stuff like this, and then get in here on an angle and stamp and hold the book so that I didn't get ink in anything and bend the binding and blah, 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 blah. And it was a not so fun experience of stamping. So I do want you guys to map out what you want to stamp on your envelopes first and stamp your envelopes and then glue your book together. So what does that mean? That means I'm going to start stamping and stamp exactly. I'm just going to clone what I have in this book. I'll flip through it so you can see. What's stamped on the side here kind of color matches over here. And so we've got some purples, we've got blues, we've got petal pinks, we got blues, corals and pinks and grays and yellows and blues and greens and more coral and some more pink. Now this is the one that I'm going to skip stamping on this side because I'm going to put it so it's my back envelope, and we'll get there in a second. And there's one more here, what I mean by that. Okay, so we're going to start with stamping green first. All right, we're going to start by doing this big green, and this is big green. It's two-step stamping, you guys. So whenever you do two-step stamping, it's always like generally good to do the detail first because then you can see the outline. We did figure out that in one instant with Fancy Flora, that two-tone Flora set, it was better to do the detail last, like do the solid first. But in this case, the detail works better first. The detail is at first strength, and then the solid inside part is second strength. So what are we going to stamp? We're going to grab mint macaron, and when you have a stamp that's on the big E block, it gets heavy and bulky to stamp it that way. So what I have been teaching people is to grab the ink pad. It's a little lighter and less bulky. You can ink up upside down, and then you're not squishing the big block into the ink pad. So we're gonna stamp this first. That's why we cut this first, so that we could be ready here. So again, you guys, for you at home, if you wanna do a mat this size, it was 2 3/4 by 4, and then this was 2 1/2 by 3 3/4. All right, so this stamp barely fits on here, and we're just going to, it goes end to end, like the left to the right. The tip kind of just hangs off the edge. All right, so we're gonna do that first, but we're not gonna stop there, because as long as we have this stamp and it's full of ink, we're going to figure out what else we need for that one. So there's a page here, there's one envelope. You guys, while you're doing this, you could do the flap on the back side if you want to. So what would happen is, like this. If you want to decorate on this side and put your flap so the pocket is on the back side, that's okay. That is an option. Some people accidentally stamped the wrong side and then their pocket ended up being on the other side, and that's okay. All right, so we've got this one. Hi, Gwen Petrashek. You're late, but you'll watch it tomorrow. That works. All right, so this guy's now gonna go in the bottom corner here. Something like that, and then let it marinate. And now we're not done, because if we go a couple more, we've got one more, and it's in the middle of the page. So what we're gonna do is stamp the same stamp every time. Now on this one, I did use shaded spruce with mint, I think, but I prefer not using shaded spruce. It was a little dark. I wish I would have done the mint. So there's one envelope, and now we're gonna grab another envelope. And this one's more in the middle. So again, we're gonna inky dinky do upside down. And then this one is more centered, top to bottom, left to right. Okay, we're not done with mint ink though, because now that we're done with the detail, we're gonna do the solid inside. Now, you think that you put the stamp on the block correctly, but what you have to do is hover over the top to make sure, before you put ink on it, okay? Because you can set it down on here if there's no ink on it, and make sure that it all lines up good. So what do I mean by that? You can see that I've got the stamp lined up and it looks like it fits there really good. You might have ended up putting the stamp on a little bit kitty wumpus, and then it will stamp outside of the area. So by doing this little test before you stamp, it will help. All right, so same thing though. I'm gonna inky dinky do upside down, and I want to stamp off though, so that I get it a little bit lighter on here, and make sure you get it going the right way. Like, see that it lines up perfectly. All right. Oh, so Carissa I put a note card in the back instead of covering up all the pretty DSP. Very good idea. Very good. Okay, so that's what you get when you stamp that second stamp at second strength. It fills it in. So we're gonna do that again, and we're actually gonna do it 2 more times. So ink it up good and stamp off. Now I'm stamping off in the same area where my green is. I'm okay with that. We're gonna talk about it later, that if you stamp off over the top of a different color, sometimes you pick up that color. So we're gonna start to be careful. We're gonna keep ourselves contained to this area. Hi, Julie Ledbetter. You're very welcome. All right, so there's that one. And then we have one more. Ink this up, stamp off, come over here. When I stamp off, I don't just do a little flick of the wrist type thing. I actually stamp off very smoothly and as solid as I can so that it's consistent. Okay, so there's that. Perfecto. All right, so then that stamp is done. We're gonna go back to the beginning, and as long as we have the green ink open, we're gonna start doing that stamp, which is the little leaf, which is I think right there and here. So grab one envelope, and we're gonna do the first strength first. Stamp a flower, a set of leaves. So there's one. And then if we go two more, there's another one. So I'm grabbing another one. So Carissa rewrote it. She said instead of putting a sheet of DSP on the inside back flap, I put a note card and then glued the last envelope to the cardstock so I didn't cover up the pretty DSP. That works too. Okay, so there's another one. Now you guys have one more back here. So now if you're following my book exactly, oh man, I got dominoes. Hang on. Let's move them over there. Then grab one more envelope. And put that here. All right, we're not done because we have to do the inside. Okay, so inside, you're gonna, if you like that two-step, like lighter inside, you're gonna stamp off and hover over the top. And then you can fill in like that. So you're gonna have to do that to these two envelopes right here. So let's grab those back and stamp off. There's one, and then two. Boom. Okay. I think that officially ends our mint inking experience for right now. Then, why don't we clean this? All right, so that one's done. Guys, it's always a good idea to clean. So you might not have these stamp sets. You might have other flower stamp sets, and that's good. Use, if you don't want flowers, you know, if you have baby stamps, that works too. You know, you've got, I guess the sky is the limit depending on what your sky consists of at home. All right, now let's talk about these tops of these flowers. So let's grab one of these, and we're just gonna grab the Balmy Blue ink, and we're gonna do that guy. Same concept where you have a detail. Can you see these stamps are loved how orange they are, or pinky, I should say. All right, so Balmy Blue, we're gonna put that there, and then you might like it just like that too, right? You don't have to always fill it in, but I'm going to, oh man, what is that? It's tape. One moment, please. I didn't realize that that was on there. It's like sticky tape. All right, so now we're gonna clean that. Hang on. Hi, Sharon Land. All right, let's try that again. I thought that something looked weird. So don't forget though, you gotta stamp off. So I'm gonna stamp off over here. You might like first strength though, but there's that one. All right, cool. So let's think about, that one's done. So we're just gonna set that over there. As long as we have blue out, we have another flower in here. That's blue, that little guy. So we're gonna grab that one. We got the blue ink open. So we're gonna grab one of the envelopes that has the stem on it. And we're going to stamp that flower head. And then this is second strength. These petals do match up a certain way. So you just gotta figure out round and round until you figure it out. Okay, so that's it for that one. All right. We can do this one next. It requires a different ink, but it's the last of these flowers. So what we need to do is clean our stamp in the interim and grab the yellow, because we definitely don't want to get cross-contamination of our colors. And I will clean these too, because I feel like we're done with them in blue. And so we have that little baby, this last flower here, but now we're using daffodil. Oh man, I don't have daffodil. What color would look good? Do I sure I don't have daffodil? I guess I don't have daffodil. So, I'm wondering, do I ask Diane to bring daffodil or just let it be? we're gonna do coral. It'll be okay, because we're improvising, you guys. So coral will look pretty on here too. So we're gonna do this, and then stamping off though. And it lines up just perfectly. All right, improvising, you guys. It's okay to improvise. We're being creative. So I went with yellow, or yellow. I went with coral instead of yellow for that one. That's okay. All right, now let's start from the beginning again and see what we got, because we have this stamp. I just cleaned it, and now we have it here. Hi, Carmen Sanders. And we've got it in black and purple. So grab another fresh envelope, and you're gonna grab your basic gray, and then that cluster of flowers in gray goes at the bottom. And I'm pretty sure there's one more, and it is right here. So we're gonna do a second one. As long as we've got the basic gray out, we're gonna ink up. Now they're both insides are different colors though. So there we've got that. And so we got one in freesia and one in coral. Coral, so we're gonna grab back this. And since we just cleaned this one, we can go ahead and ink that up right away. Now you're called. Do you want it first strength or second strength? I think I'm gonna go with it at first strength just because it'll look a little bit darker. I just hover over the top until I get everything lined up. And then once I feel like, hi Kathleen Anderson, once I got it lined up, I'm good. So that one's done. So let's bring in Purplicious, but we've got to do a little cleaning on aisle 9 so that we don't do our inks. Okay, so this other one's Fresh Freesia. And you could also do that one at first strength if you want. Good, so that's that. That one's done. We're gonna come back to the flowers and do those momentarily, but for now, we've got some more coral to do. So we're gonna grab coral and petal pink, and we're gonna do, we gotta clean these again. So I'm curious, how many of you guys that got this class with me, either from the Escape or from Earning It, are doing these cards with me right now? Curious. All right, so we're back to coral. And then it's gonna go that way. And then one more coming out this way. All right, I feel like this coral got used again right there. So we're gonna hold on to this for the moment over here and grab another envelope. So those that got this class from me, either through the Escape or through this class, the Sale-a-Bration Celebration, your tutorial included pictures of the entire book. So you can always refer back to the pictures to see how to make it. All right. So this one has coral second strength in the inside, and that one has petal pink. So let's do, as long as we got coral open. Now, what I talked about is I don't want to stamp this coral over the top of any of the green or the blue. I want to find a fresh area. Otherwise, it could pick up the color. And right about there. I used the Elephant Parade for the baby book, and it was so much fun. Yes, you sure did. It turned out great. So for those that did the Winter Escape with me, you are part of a private Facebook group called Winter Creative Escape with Cards by Christine. And I walked through impromptu-ish this book, but then Carissa went through more detail, and Carissa did a training video on it in the Winter Creative Escape. So you guys can see that if you're part of that private group. Along with, there's like 8 other creative presentations on fun folds and movement cards and boxes and treat stuff. So anybody still wants to get in on the virtual part of the Winter Creative Escape, you can still get access to it. Just reach out to me if you're interested. All right, so that's done. Now we're gonna do petal pink on the insides of these. And I believe it's really a juicy pad. So we're going to stamp off and get the second strength. This otherwise is dark. All right, so there's a little bit of soft petal pink on the inside. All right, so those are done. Let's start from the beginning and see what else we have left. Okay, we are almost ready to do our flowers, I think. Let's do the flowers. All right, so on the front of the book, there's some fresh freesia flowers, so we need freesia back. And the flowers, Judy's back. The flowers are from a stamps, these guys, where there's 3 flowers on this like same stamp. Now, you had this piece of paper that was left over from the gray. If you don't want to use it because you want to use your own white paper, that's okay. But if you're going to use it, what you want to make sure is you stamp. When you look at the back of a punch, you guys, you see that the 2 flowers, so your paper goes at the top like this, right? You're holding it at the bottom here. These 2 flowers, you want to make sure when you stamp them near an edge. And it makes sense to do this one, like a set here, and then you're going to flip this, and we're going to stamp a set there. If you go on this edge, you don't have enough to fit another one next to it, okay? So always look at the back of your punch before you go to stamp the image that you're going to punch out, because I did have a couple people that stamped this like this. And now you got to cut it off right there and hold it all kitty wampus. So let's start with our fresh freesia. Oh, Susan warmly used the Forest Friends for a baby book. Very, very nice. All right, so we're going to start with freesia. And we need a set of freesia flowers for the outside, for me. So if you're choosing a different color, go for whatever color you want for the outside. Okay, so there's our fresh freesia. Then this one is Balmy Blue. So let's clean them because we had a freesia on them. And Balmy Blue is going to go next to it with these 2 bigger flowers along the bottom. And the next set of flowers, too, is Balmy Blue with Pool Party. So I'm going to stamp another Balmy Blue in the detail. I'm going to avoid my score line there. But now I don't need this little section right here. And so one set is Balmy Blue, and I'm going to do it at second strength. So you just hover over till you can see exactly where to go. Now that's it for Balmy. The other one I did in Pool Party. So let's grab Pool Party. And then we're going to grab a clean stamp, and I think if you do Pool Party second strength, it's very light. You can't see it. So I'm going to just do it at full strength. Like that. Okay. The last thing then, so these, you guys, we'll punch those out in a second. So we've got those, that. What's left is this one right here. I think what I'll do, I'm actually gonna, because my front of my book is gonna be purple, I want the inside cover to be purple. I'm gonna do gray with purple, but for my envelope, I gotta remember that this is gonna get glued to the last page, like the second last page, and so I wanna stamp on this side and this being my bottom corner. So let's clean this again. And then we'll clean that one. I'm gonna go for basic gray and fresh freesia. We're gonna go, I think I might try to get that little guy in the corner like that. So there's our gray. And thank you, Patty. And then we're gonna stamp this one at full strength, I think. All right. So there we go. I believe that's all the stamping. Guys, I did not put any embellishments in your kits. I didn't put any ribbon in. I figured 10 note cards, 10 envelopes, 2 cardboards, and 24 pieces of 6x6 DSP was a lot and enough to start you guys off on an awesome project. If you, I don't know what you're going to use, or maybe you're going to change it up. So I didn't include any ribbon. I didn't include any embellishments. I figure that you guys have that at home. So what we want to do is let's get these guys punched out. So I mentioned the reason we punched them with those 2 big flowers near the bottom is so that you could just punch and then move this over and punch. And that's for the top one. And then flip this around. Oh, perfect, Becky. Putting it together tomorrow sounds good. You get behind on the live. That makes sense. Yeah, and just, you guys remember, you don't have to make it look identical to mine. This is where you can practice your creativity and change it up, do whatever you want. You know, that flew in my face. That farm animal, like if you guys have the farm, if you're into the farm animal DSP in that bundle, you could make a farm book for a little boy or a little girl, and make a farm book. It would be so cool. Okay, now we're gonna glue these on to our note cards here. So this one was the blue flowers. This one was these. And for the front though, we do have to glue this down onto the gray mat first and put ribbon. Now, I had just mentioned I did not send ribbon with anybody's because I was like, I don't know what you guys are gonna pick or do. So if you have ribbon and you wanna embellish or add it to the front here, now is the time to do it. And I have this Pool Party, it's one of my favorite ribbons. It's Pool Party Gross Grain. It's so shimmery and sheer and easy to make bows. I'm just gonna cut about a 4 or 3 inch piece here, 3 probably, 3.5. I used my paper scissors. That was not smart. It's a good thing those ends are getting tucked. And then we're gonna grab our Terran tape. Watching first, because I don't have the other supplies. Yes, that sounds like a good idea, to watch it first. Then you guys get an idea of how to do it. I definitely think that's a smart thing to do. So we're gonna put that guy right about there. So we're gonna put 2 pieces of Terran tape down. Like that. And then we're gonna put another set of Terran tape pieces on the back, but I'm not going to pick them off. I'm gonna leave them there acting as single-sided tape because we're gonna use dimensionals now on this back so it pops up on the front of the book. Then for our flowers, we're gonna flip them over. I'm gonna put dimensionals on the outside ones. I'm not going to use the dimensionals on the inside because I just not sure what is all going to go on the inside of the book, and I feel like the more you put on it, like for popping it up, it's going to get thick. So we're just going to put some glue on the backs of those, and like this is going to go right about there, and then the medium one can sit right down there, and the little one can sneak right there. All right, and then on this one, we've got, there's an open circle there, and that's for the flower to sit. And then there's a little open area there. And then the little guy can nestle right there. So those are good. And same concept with this one. There's a little open area there. The little guy can go there. And the medium one can sit over here. Okay. I think Judy Bobo's watching first too. You guys, that's always a good idea. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our envelopes in order, the way that they need to get glued. So purple first. So this purple one is, where did it go? Right here. And then we have the blue one. And then we have that one, which is right on the top here. And then that blue flower is this guy. And then that one. Oh, yellow is my coral. Okay. And then this one. Highland at Grady from Southeast Michigan, waiting for another source. I know, you guys, lo and behold, just as we figured out my live wasn't going to work from the hive, I packed up all my stuff, ran to the car, enclosed garage, right? And then I opened the garage door and it's snowing. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I carry all my stuff in the snow. All right, so I did mine a little different. That's not next. This one's next. And then I ended up with my back one like this. So this is how this all needs to get glued. You're going to have one envelope flap going this way and one envelope flap going that way. Okay, we're going to glue all of our flaps together. Okay, so this is not getting glued now. Kristen, my advice is to glue the envelopes first before putting them on these guys. So what are you going to do? You're going to use liquid glue. You're going to use tear and tape. Well, I guess it's your choice. People use different things. Liquid glue will allow you to finagle it for a little bit before you need to, get it. You could get it straight. But if you use too much liquid glue and it oozes out, you're not going to be happy. So your call. If you want to do tear and tape, that's fine too. Tape runners works, but I've got liquid glue on the flap here, and what's going to happen is it's just going to go. So when you have the liquid glue now, you can hold these and get your top flush, your sides flush, and let them meld together. I'm tired of the snow too, you guys. Oh, I'm over it. It's like spring is wanting to sprung like a week ago in my head. And the snow keeps coming. So you guys see that flap is glued onto here. You can see that flap is on there. And now repeat. And you know me, guys. I'm the type that likes to get glue happy. So I'm going to do 2 at a time here. So I'm not going to get too much that it oozes out. And we're going to set this one down. And then we're going to set that one down and then pick them up at the same time and hold them. By putting my thumbs on the top and my hands on the left and the right, it doesn't let one get out of the way. Hi, Terry Costin. All right, so there you go, you guys. We got a couple of them down. So I'm going to do the same thing again. I won't do 3. I'll just keep doing 2. So we've got this one. And then we'll put a little glue on this one. That. And flip that one down. And then flip this one down. And again, hold them so that you have them, all the flaps are flush on this one side. And they're nice and even. That's what I'm going for, you guys. All right. I'm going to do these 2. Bit of glue. Okay, so this is where you can make your book as big or as small as you want. If you only want to put 6 envelopes in, you want to put 5, you want to put 12, you want to put 20. It's really whatever you want. And at this moment, these flaps, you're going to see, you'll never see them again. The pretty stripes and stuff, you're not going to see them. Now, if you're using envelopes that have decoration on them and that are pretty, you could factor that into when you make your book. You can use that pretty paper. All right, so now we have 1 left. So I'm going to do this guy. Well, not 1 left, but 1 going this way, because there's 1 more after this, but it's different. Okay, so now this one goes on here. Now, if you use tear and tape, you aren't going to be able to do this so successfully. The liquid glue is allowing me to do it this way because of the wiggle room that it has. All right, so here we've got the one flap this way, and now we've got all of these connected, and all of the flaps are on the left-hand side. And we have this guy left. Now, this is what we're gonna do. The whole thing needs glue because it's gonna glue on here like this. So we're gonna put glue. I stay about 1/4 of an inch away from the edge. Okay, so then this goes on there. All right, and give that a second. Terry's finally able to catch me live tonight watching the Big Ten Conference Tournament. Wonderful. So you guys see this? These two flaps now are like that. And again, it doesn't matter that they're two different flaps. All right, so now you've got this book. It's good to go. Now you're gonna use your cardboards here. And what's gonna happen is this flap is gonna get glued onto this cardboard, and this flap is gonna get glued onto that cardboard. All right, so we're gonna do one first. Doesn't matter which one. And when you put it on, you're gonna wanna make sure you're flush to one. So like this is all my flaps are on this side. I wanna be flush with my cardboard on that side. And then I'm gonna be centered left to right. So now I'm kind of pushing this down so that I'm flush, and I gotta move over just a hair. See it with my liquid glue, I've got a little wiggle room. So you have about a, okay, it's gonna get covered up. You have about 1/8 of an inch on the top and the bottom and the other side. And I didn't have that quite. So like a normal book, like you have a book, the cover is bigger than the pages. So you are going to have a little bit here, a little bit here, right? And then a little bit here, about 1/8 of an inch. Okay, and so now this is the front. It's attached here. And now we're gonna do the same thing on this side. And we'll get that other cardboard on. Whoa. And so this is now where I'm going to pick this up like this and make sure that I'm flush on that one side. So everything's kind of flush here. And then you've got that 1/8 of an inch around on both sides. Okay, you guys, we've successfully like kind of put our book together. Like this is the meat and the potatoes of it. Now it's like, okay, we get to decorate. So how do you want to decorate it? This is where you guys get to experience your creativity. So like what's cool about these patterns is they match so nicely. Like you could do like your cover with this, or do you like stars, or do you want purple, or do you want the coral color, yellow? Some people did this one as their cover. Some people did that one. Somebody did that one even. Everybody did different things. So what you're gonna wanna do next is you're gonna wanna pick out what do you want for your binding and your book. And I like this. I don't know, there's something that I like about this one. And then when I made my book, I was only gonna give you guys each one sheet of the pack, but I ended up deciding to go with 2 because I had the paper to give. And so that's why mine has 2 different. You might like that too, having it different. It's a hodgepodge book, right? Make it however you want. So I'm going to do these though, because I do like them. And then pick out what you want for your binding. Go through here and what do you like? I do like those stripes. So you got to pick out a couple things. You're also going to have to pick out what you want on the inside. I really like those polka dots on the inside too. So those are right here, the other side of that. So that would look really nice with that. The other thing though, for me, since I did purple, that might look really cool on the inside. But I do want to show you when you cut your paper, we're going to cut the paper. We need this for the binding. Okay. So the size, if you guys have the PDF. It says the size, but if you're not certain, you can always just grab your ruler and measure. It's 4.5 by 6. So your paper is 6 inches. So when I cut this on my big cutter, it started off at 12 and I cut it at 6. So you should pretty much have it at 6 inches. So what I'm going to do though is just hold these together and then put them on my book and make sure, because one side might be perfect and the other side might not be perfect. But in this case, they're both good. So I'm okay cutting it like that. So I'm going to cut at 4.5. There. And then another, so this is a scrap. And then 4.5. It's already at 6. And then my inside covers are also at 4.5. And I'm going to do the same concept. I'm going to hold them together and then just make sure it reaches end to end. And then I'm going to cut those at 4.5. So 6 is already the height. And then 4.5. And then as long as we have our cutter out, we're going to cut the binding. So the binding here is 6 inches, but then it's 2 3/4. Let's talk about that. If you end up putting 30 pages in your book, because you want a really big book, you need more binding, right? So 2 3/4 is about, you know, 1 1/4 inches on each side, with the binding or the book being this thick. If you do a smaller book, you might want less binding, or maybe you want your binding to come out to here, you know, so it's whatever you want, right? But I'm going to do 2 3/4 because that's what I'm going to do for that one. So I'm going to cut my other piece at 2 3/4. So all of this, you guys, is scraps that I can use for decorating the inside of my book. All right, so we've got all that stuff cut. And we're going to measure things just to make sure. So like this is going to get glued onto here. And if you cut it a little bit too big, that's okay. You can always take your scissors and trim the edges. If you cut it too small, hodgepodge it. Put 2 strips of designer paper on the top and the bottom to get it to go to the edge, right? So, all right. We're going to glue both of these down. You might, I'm going to show you tear and tape on the next one. All right, so there's liquid glue on this one. That goes right on the front cover. And try to push that glue to the edges. And then I will show you tear and tape on this, because with tear and tape, gift cards and coupons, Debbie said lots of ideas. Good, good, good. Okay, with tear and tape, if you put the tear and tape on, you can almost go to the entire edge like this without, when you put it down, you're not going to ooze out, okay? So you do use a little bit more tear and tape, but it allows your designer paper, well, that's a lot to hang over, so I'm going to use some of that over here. Now, I'm going to have quite the challenge actually putting this down compared to what I had with the liquid glue. But I wanted to show you as an alternative option, when you do something like this, it allows you to get the glue all the way to the edge of your paper, where on here, this one, that paper kind of can be a little bit loose on the edge. And then this one, okay. All right, so wish me luck putting this on, because it's not gonna be so easy, because there's no wiggle, wiggle, wiggle with it room, okay? So when I put designer, or when I put paper down on something like this using tear and tape, I start off putting it in the corner. I get that corner lined up. And then I try to get the one edge straight. Tear and tape. Okay, get the other edge straight. And then pray that the top edge is straight, and then I let go. Did you see? I just let go. As long as I knew that this edge was straight and this edge was straight and I was to the edge, I had to have faith that it was right. And if it's hanging over any amount too much, you can just let it be. And it's just a hair. If it bothers you, you can always take your scissors and use that cardboard as a guide with your scissors and trim it off. And you got it gone. Just be careful. All right, you guys, we got, so far so good, right? All right. Now, this binding thing. Let's talk about that. We did this something before. We had to roll something the other day. I can't remember what it was we rolled, but I had to show you on the edge of the table. So we are going to just pull the camera a little forward so you guys can see. Oh man, hang on. Okay, see down over here. So with rolling this paper, so if you try to attach this binding on here like this and bend it over, it's gonna like crack. It's not gonna be good. So you wanna kind of prep the paper by like rolling this with your fingers on the edge of the table like this. Don't worry about the edges so much, you want the middle part. And so I take all 4 of my fingers, or 8 of my fingers. I can count, really. And so what you're doing is helping it kind of to curve so that when you go and do this, it's not gonna crack on the end, okay? So, got that? That's how you wanna do that. Okay, cool beans and bagels. Whoa, hang on. The cord is running underneath my legs and I just, yeah, got it. Okay, so let's move that back and put this back so I don't get stuff on the tablecloth. All right. Cool. All right, so now you're gonna want this binding to go on like this. And I guess what I would do is eyeball. So this is where it's important. If you have your book not, like if one's down and one's up, it's gonna be off a kilter. Like mine might be hanging off the edge here, but it might be a little short here. I guess that might happen. Oh, Susan warmly laminated one side of the binding as it tends to tear as you turn the pages of the book. That's so true. Like I noticed from doing this in class a lot, it's starting to get worn around the edge here. So that is a great idea to laminate this. Exactly. Good call. All right, so I was kind of eyeballing up here where this needs to go so that it was centered, and it looks like I need to put it right on that one white line here. Now, you're not always going to have that ability, but to like know that, but I'm going to try to cover up that line, and then where the back ends up, the back ends up. Again, you could use tear and tape or you could use liquid glue. I think I'm going to go for the liquid glue, and I'm going to put a line of it on this edge right here, and I'm going to put a line of it on this back edge. Where's the front here? That's the front. Okay, I'm going to put a line of it back here. Okay. Now, which line was it? I think it was that one. I think it was that one. All right. So we've got that going down here. So Linda Hall did the exact same thing I did with this book. She got so excited to put her envelopes together without stamping them, and she has a mess now. And she wants to do it for her grandson, so she'll be using a different stamp. All right, that was good. Okay, so I'm going to, yeah, so Linda, you can go ahead and stamp it after it's glued together. Because I did for this book, I got so excited to glue the envelopes. I'm like, oh my gosh, I know what to do. I can glue envelopes. And then I'm like, oh shoot, now how am I going to stamp my envelopes? Well, you know what? You don't have to stamp your envelopes. You could just use paper and you could decorate the whole thing. Like what makes it so cool about using the envelopes is that you have the flap that's already attached. So you could just use designer series paper throughout the whole book. You don't even have to stamp it if you don't want to. All right, so now I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. I'm just gonna put the liquid glue on that edge and that edge. And I don't want it so tight that it's squished, but I don't want it not enough either. Oh, look at that, I went right to that line. And I think I'm gonna call that good. All right, so give it that little finger heat, right? That helps the glue bond. Cool. All right, then this guy was prepped over here with some dimensionals. Oh, okay, this is also another good time to talk about ribbon. I didn't have ribbon on here, but some people did in class, they did blue on the outside. And because I had the pool party ribbon there, they liked the concept of putting some ribbon on the book like this. And what you could do is attach that. And then before you decorate the inside, you'll cover up the ends. So guys, this is where, or if there's some really cool dies that have edges to them, you could do like a die cut edge, like the Delicate Desert has a die edge. There's some basic borders dies. You could put a really cool die edge here, like paper cut out with a die edge, right? So some ideas to put some ribbon down on here for you. And this though is going to go on here like that. Maybe like that. So what I'm doing is eyeballing my squares and I'm getting the same around those three. Okay. So you guys, it's like, did you ever think with those papers and envelopes and note cards I gave you that you'd have an awesome little book like this? Okay, we're not done though, but like it's coming together, right? You got decoration. So it does take a little pre-gaming, right? You got to figure out what you're going to do. Now this one, I'm going to glue that on the inside and it's going to hang over just a hair. And so I'm going to take my scissors and I'll trim that off. I think I'll use my scissors, I think. All right, so then that is going to get liquid glue. And I'll just tuck that in the corner. And I don't want to be up too high or too. So this is where you use your hands, right? On one hand here, it just helps to kind of get them so that they're even. And then just kind of tuck it into the corner as much as possible. And I do have, because it doesn't go all the way to the inside, because there's a, like the fold is there, I see that the little bit's overhanging and that's okay. All right, and then what you can do is take your scissors. I'm just using the book. Got caught. Here's a guide. I just wanted to do that because I felt if I did my trimmer, it might just catch it jagged. So there we go. Well, same thing is going to happen over here. Because of that envelope flap, you're not putting it all the way in, so we might have to trim it a little bit. All right, just like that. Oh, I almost got glue in it. Okay. Then this is going to go right in the corner. And do the same thing. I would wait to glue your binding until you are completely done, as the extra paper adds bulk. Yes, good call, Carissa. I did glue my binding, and what Chris is saying is if you like end up putting thickness and pictures and stuff in here, it might make your book just a little bit expanded, and then your binding needs to be a little bit more. All right, so my sides are good, but you guys see I'm having it hang over here. So that's where I can just take. So I graduated. My ribbon scissors became my paper scissors. My paper scissors became my glue scissors. And my new scissors, the ribbon scissors, is not here. So I'm just using that to trim that off. Okay. So now you saw that the pocket became the end here. Now, if you don't like that, you could have always done your pockets here. Oh, the pockets could have gotten glued to the back. So like, let's say you didn't want this to be a pocket. You could have glued the pocket to the back side and lost the pocket and just had a solid one there. But this matches right here. Okay, so I'm gonna sneeze. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, so now you have, this is pretty much how far I got everybody to in class personally, like when they attend in person. And you have like these strips right here. Like I used this strip behind here. And then I had some more gray paper. You could cut mats and bases. You guys have, like, this is as far as I think I want to get you, because now this is where I don't know what you want to do. What you want to do, what you really want to do. A zig-a-zig-ah, right? So I'm going to show you guys, like, there's different ways to, okay, so you have all of this. Choose to use it for cards or choose to use it for mats. And don't forget the other side has white. So if you're looking for a white mat, you could cut up one of these. You guys have these extra little scraps that are left from cutting your inside cover and outside cover. And you have all of this extra stuff. And so like on this one, let's go like that's that. So this one was blue. So what I did is grabbed one of these blue things, these blue mats. Just so you know, too, this is scored at 4 1/4. The height is right. So your envelope is a little bit bigger than this width. So you don't have to even cut the width there. And if you cut just on the inside of the score line right here, it's the right size for your mat. And so basically you get 2 mats out of one of these. All right, so this one, it got coupled with like this balmy blue, and it had some of that, and then some of that like strips. So after you cut this, then like we just ended up with little scraps. And so we're like, oh, let's just put a couple little scraps down here. And then this one was one of the pink. It was one of these pink bases. And then it was this piece mixed with some yellow stripy stars, right? Because it brought out some of the mango in those. Okay. Then you could use the die cuts instead of stamping. Yes, absolutely. Here's some of the blue and mixed with the blue flower. So the stamps were stamped to kind of complement what we used over here. And here, you guys can't see it, but it's actually one of the white in the back side of this is actually, it's a blue, there's blue back there. So that's one of the blue mats reversed, reverse. With that, this is the pink mat, and then here, this mat right here with the white is the back side. So honestly, everything that got used in this book came from these bases and these mats, like these 6x6, guys, okay? But you're welcome to pull anything else that you want or need. This one was gray mixed with some of the mango, and yes, I switched mine up. I ended up going with coral. So for this one, I might just pick more of a coral one. Like this one could go over here instead. Like that would be pretty with it if I wanted. Okay, and then here's green with the blues. And then a white piece was left over. So when you start cutting pieces apart, you're gonna end up with scraps, and the scraps can get used to decorate, right? So here's another one. When we cut, let's see where it is. What's the back side of this guy? The star. Oh, ha ha ha. Okay. We cut, this is, let me just guess here. 4. So this is 4 inches and this is 2 inches. So you guys, we cut this at 2 inches and it gave us the piece here. And then we turned this and cut it at, it's a 3x4. So we cut this at, it was 4x3, and then you're left with another 4x3, and that 4x3 could have been the one that got used over here, okay? So this one was that guy, and so this one, you see there's yellow stars here? Like that was cut at 3, and you're left with some stuff. Here's the strip. There was a yellow strip that was left over with when we were done designing that. Here's some of this pink piece. That is, I want to say this piece. Yeah. So that is actually the scrap here from the binding, I bet. Nope. Wrong one. Different one. This one. This one. Oh, there's another one. There's a bunch of petal pink in here. That one. No. Yes. Why? Oh, it's this one. Ha ha ha. There. See, look at that. That must have been the piece that we just cut off a little bit and then just made a little side action for it. And there's some blue stripies. And then again, I made my back inside binding match, and I'm not going to necessarily do anything back there. So yeah, I guess at this point, I hope that you guys can take the paper, all these papers that I gave you, and get to the point where you have this, covers put on, binding figured out, decorate the cover, and then how you want to do this, I'm going to let that up to you, because you might not even be doing this. And for me to go through and cut all these to match, you guys have the tutorial, so you have the pictures. And honestly, when it comes to measurements, like a lot of these pieces, like that's a 3x4, right? And then I already told you that this piece is just cut on the inside of the score line, and then it fits right on there. And these are just scraps that we cut. Again, that's a 3x4 and a 1-inch strip. This one on the next page is a 3x4 and a 1-inch strip going the other way, right? This one's a 3x4 with a mat that is a 1/4 inch bigger on two sides. This is basically two squares that are 3x3 squares. And I bet you any money that those are reverse. Yep. So we cut it at 3 inches and we put one square there and one square there. That's a 3 by something. I don't know if it's 4 though. Yeah, it is 4. 3x4. And that's a 4 1/4. That was a leftover scrap of white. 3x4, and then that's 2 inches by whatever the length of the note card is, probably 5.5. And then that was a 3 by 5. And I didn't put that in the instructions, you guys, because you can decorate however you want to. Cut your sizes, cut your mats, you know, just play around with it. If you're uncertain about wanting to cut into this paper because you don't know if you're going to cut it right, use scratch paper, use copy paper, use paper that you don't care about so much, and cut that up and then test it and put it in the book and set it on there to see if you like it or not. So, yay. How was that, you guys? Was it helpful to see that? Like, the people that I said, watch the video, like it will explain so much. You cannot put a lot of that, what we just went through, you can't put that into words. A lot of that into writing. Oh, I don't even want to think about what I like to write this out as a tutorial. Like that would have been crazy. So I think what I did on the tutorial is I said, watch the video, you guys. I really did. I said, watch the video and it will explain everything. And hopefully that does help, that you guys could watch this and watch the replay. When it's finished, you guys can start and stop it whenever you want to. Luann Trump Power, can't wait to make more. Yay. So you guys, think of all the different awesome things you can make, like with making a book like this. So I will give a shout out to Amanda Waldhart. Chris and I went to one of her retreats. It was like a demonstrator only event that got opened up to the general populace, and it was back in November, and she put this event on with a couple other of her demonstrator friends, and she had this book sitting on her table, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is so cool. I can't wait to make this. And I'm going to see if I can easily find, I took a picture of her book. So I'm just going to scroll back through to November, the first week, and see if I can share with you a picture of her book. And she did a YouTube video on it as well. You guys, I didn't even watch it, you guys. I had her guiding hand helping me and Carissa, like putting it together. And after you see it put together, it's like, oh, that's kind of easy. So let's see, we're into Wonderful World cards, and that was November, you guys. So we're at On Stage, and this was the week before On Stage. And the question, oh, I have it here. Okay. All right, I'm going to share with you guys her book, okay? She used the Santa Express Memories and More card pack. And so this is what we saw on her display. So again, my video is down here. That's what that is. But she has this evergreen open weave ribbon wrapped around the binding. She used, you can even journal on the envelopes. You sure can. She used one of the card pack things here. And then that was the inside. She's got the joy. And so you guys, those note cards, those envelopes were green and red. So that's why she's got so much color in her book. And then that was a picture of the side. So she did 10, I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She had 10 envelopes that she used, which was half of a pack of the envelopes. And that was a close-up of it. You can see that she's got her binding glued down. And she's got something inside there. I can see it, but I didn't take a picture of all of them, but there's a picture of another one. She could put pictures in there, and that was another picture. So, and then I had to take a picture of the blueberry Kit Kat with the blueberries. Okay. All right. So you guys see how far behind we are right now? You guys are watching me do the cover, or I'm watching myself, or talk about the inside actually. So yes, Debbie, it is so customizable. That is so true. Okay. Does anybody have any questions about what we just went through? I'm hoping not, but I'm here in case you do. I do want to share, I know I did share these earlier in the week, but you guys might have missed them. So I do want to share a couple classes that are coming up. I do have winners to announce. I have all these cards from the Fitting Florets class. I have these cards from Fitting Florets and the January monthly. So I have winners for them to tell you guys who the winners are. All right, so we'll do that in a second. Oh, I have Happy Mail too. Hang on, we've got Happy Mail to go through. All right, so this card comes to me from, and Tyler actually, from Bonnie Lesbron's Lily, Ginger, and Lucy. And this was a sympathy card for our loss of our little honeybee. And so that's from Bonnie Lesbron's. This card is from Miss Penny Powell from Spring Hill, Florida. She made me a shaker card. It's like a fake shaker card, you guys. It's where you use a clear envelope, and then you don't have to use foam tape or window sheets. And you just tape the edges of the window sheet behind. And so it says, I hope your day is a real treat. And it says, happy birthday. So Penny, I told her, Penny got Tigger, so Percy actually got Tigger some catnip, and we brought it out on Tuesday night, and Tigger is in heaven with the catnip. So thank you to Percy and to Penny for the catnip for Tigger. So that was pretty. This one is from Miss Marianne So Marianne, I have a hard time with your name. It's Savre. I feel like Savre. It's S-A-E-V-R-E, Savre or Savre. That is a thank you card. She got one of my classes from me. So I think I need to message you to let you know that I got the check yet. It came today. So very pretty thank you card using some bee paper and gold. So that one is from Marianne. This one is from Miss Vicky Rodriguez. Vicky made this hello card. And it's got some pretty designer paper on the side. She's got a little bit of ribbon like tucked on the side here. I love that. The Garden Birdhouse is, I think, the name of the set. So pretty. She did all that coloring on the inside. Very pretty, Vicky. Okay, the next card comes to us from Annette Rollin, who's currently wintering down in Arizona. When I think of going down south, I think of Florida because that's where my family always used to go and still does go. But just for you, and look at this. She's in Arizona. Oh, you really are the best. And she used the hippos. That's from Annette Rollin. Thank you, Annette. This one is from Miss Laura Sullivan from Ohio. Thinking of you. And she's got little strawberries on the side. That looks like a paper pumpkin that was from like 3 years ago. That was like pick of the crop or something. It was from a little bit ago, but it was really pretty. And it says, just because. Lynn says, a fun project. I love that we can tailor this little book to our own liking. Good, good. I'm so happy. Can't wait to get my big order with new stamps to make more. Yay, Janet. All right, this one is from Karen Wetstein, you guys, from Chilton. Like, she decorated the envelope to have it matching. And then she used fancy flora. You guys can't see it, but she stellaed the heck out of these flowers. It's so cool. So a little thank you card. And then look at this. Boom. An explosion for us. So that was the mystery card layout. Yay, I love it. I love seeing those cards being made and sent out. And then this one is from Miss Susan Bellamy from Lakeland, Florida. She made me a little St. Patty's Day card, some shamrocks on, a little green ribbon. She colored the gems green. And then she's got the inside. Let's see what the inside. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Thank you, Susan. And this one comes to us from Miss Patricia Detlefson. And she even wrote a note on what she used, you guys. An Easter card for you. A lot of her old cardstock is actually very close to recent and current colors. And so she used Wisteria Wonder and the Fancy Flora DSP, as well as the 2019 to 21 DSP. And the other colors are scraps. She used Tender Toil from 2002, which must be the Sentiments, I'm guessing, because she's got stamp sets are Tender Toil, Easter Bunny, and the Cottage Wreath. And so it's an Easter card, a pretty little Easter card here. And then she's got everything else. Cottage Wreath was the die here. And she's got some Easter eggs on the wreath. So very cool, Pat. Thank you for this Easter card. And I think that is it. So that's the Happy Mail. You guys, I brought this all with me because I'm like, I got to share the Happy Mail with you guys. All right. So that's that. Then I did want to share with you guys, in case you haven't been seeing it, I did get this class published on my website, on Facebook, and the email is scheduled for the Fragrant Flowers Stamp-A-Stack. They're all fun folds, and this is in April. It's April 17th at 10 a.m. in person or April 19th at 1. It features the fragrant flowers, and there are four fun folds. So this one opens up, and you guys, look at that. Isn't that so cool? So pretty. In a little bit of a different fold because your little inside piece pops out like that. You'll make 3 of that one. This one is a pleated skirt like fold. You'll make 4 of this one. Nothing fancy on the inside, but the fancy is on the outside. You'll make 4 of this one, which is an explosion card. And you guys, it opens like that, just like Karen Wetstein's card. That was a mystery card layout. Love it. Did a book card. All right, I polled the internal audience in person, and the verdict was to go with petal pink on the side versus coral because it was softer and it blended in, and that the coral from this flower pulled out the coral there. So you guys, I know I polled the audience a couple weeks ago on this, but we ended up going with petal pink. So you'll make 4 of that one, and you'll make 3 of this one. For a total of 14 cards, you'll get a pack of the paper, a roll of the ribbon, and a pack of the embellishments. And so this one opens up like this, and then wait for it. Watch this, you guys. Oh, isn't that so pretty? Can you imagine opening that up and getting that card? All right, so that's the Fragrant Flowers Stamp-A-Stack class in April. So taking reservations for that one. If anybody wants to get added to the class list, please reach out to me and let me know. The other one, too, that I have some left of, you guys, I did inventory on Honeybee here, this ink, paper, scissors that I did Monday night. You guys, I have 6 left for this class. So we really we got through some this past week, but I do have 6 left of this ink, paper, scissors in case anybody wants to make the B cards yet. I do have to share with you guys, in case you don't want B cards, Laura Sullivan didn't get the B set, and she got, she used butterflies. I might just search for her. I'm going to show you guys her cards. And she said it, I think she said it was okay, I can share. So she made B cards, not P, butterfly. I think she sent me a picture right here. Okay. So she used a butterfly instead. So this card right here, what she did is she added a butterfly instead, which looks really nice. And then she did on this yellow card, oh, she made it a vertical card. And she made it, oh, my phone's gonna do that. So she made it vertical and she made it into a butterfly. And then on this one, she put a butterfly on it as well. And then this one, you guys know that that's the designer series paper, and you'll get to make it just like that. Okay, so that, you guys, just to recap, why I was showing you this is because I still have 6 left in case anybody's still wanting this class. I can accommodate. And then I did inventory for Scenic Garden, you guys. You get the stamp set. It's free with a $50 order unless you're on my team. My team has the option of paying the $18 or $24 with or without shipping. But if you're not on my team, it's a $50 order using my current host code found on my website. So this is the current one now, but it could be something different tomorrow. I don't know, but it's always on my website. And you'll make 4 cards. You get a sheet each of like the 6x6 paper like you just got in that kit. You get one of each of the 6x6 that was part of the Dainty Delight, and you'll make these 4 cards. And I have 4 left, you guys. So in case anybody still wants to get this stamp set or get this class, I just did inventory. I have 4 left. This Irresistible Blooms is the Stamp-A-Stack for the month of March. And it was on the docket first, and then the Fragrant Flowers came to be. But this one's called Irresistible Blooms Stamp-A-Stack. And yes, I know that the bundle went out of stock yesterday. I know that the frosted beads went out of stock, so I've improvised. So my cards do use the frosted beads, you guys, but I can't get them, and they're out of stock until May 1st. And instead of delaying the class, I'm just doing a different embellishment that will match just as nice. So that's one of the minor mishaps. The stamp set, you guys, honestly, this is the designer series paper. All you need is a sentiment. So if you don't have the stamp set, you'll live. This one is the designer series paper. So you just need a sentiment. If you don't have the stamp set, you'll live. This is the designer series paper as well. Fun fold, you guys. So here's a fun fold. And this one also is a fun fold. Goes like that. And that sneaks in here. Get in there, just like that. This one, you need a sentiment. It's designer series paper, and it's a fun fold. Opens like that. So far, so good. This one, you need a sentiment because it's designer series paper. It's a fun fold. So you guys, did you get this? That both of my Stamp-A-Stacks are fun fold classes. All right, so you'll make 3 of each of these, so 15 cards. This one is that pigeon flying seagull card from Susan Campfield. And again, you need a sentiment and some sort of, I stamped a little foliage on the back. The stamps, the stamps I used are primarily, I need water, hang on. Hang on. My throat was getting dry. Whew. I talked a lot, you guys. So the stamps that I use are primarily stamped on the inside. That's even designer series paper, you guys. So another Stamp-A-Stack where, yes, I get it. The stamp set bundle is not available. It comes back in stock on April 17th or around there. So if you really want to get it, you still can get it in April. And then you could still do this class and not necessarily have the stamps, and you'll be fine. So 5 fun folds, 3 of each. So this one is 15 cards for this Stamp-A-Stack. This one is called the Irresistible Blooms Stamp-A-Stack class. Okay, so 2 different ones. This one's Irresistible Blooms. The other one's Fragrant Flowers. And then here's the gnomes, in case you guys didn't see it. The gnomes got finished this week. So this is my quarterly order-based class. Pigeon, yeah, I know I did say pigeon. It was a seagull. Once a quarter, I'm going to be doing a class that is only order-based. And it's to help me finish my quarter as strong as I possibly can, you guys. And so for this order-based class, I did it with Soft Ceilings last October. And it was like, wow, that really helped me a lot. And so you guys are so supportive, and I appreciate that. And so this one is an order-based class. If you're local, $30 for porch pickup, or $45 actually for mail, just like any other class. And we're gonna make these, so it features the Friendly Gnomes stamp set. If you don't have the Friendly Gnomes, it's okay. What else could you use? You don't have to use gnomes. I'm not die cutting out any gnome pieces for you. You're gonna get a piece of white paper, and you'll have enough white paper to stamp your I think there's 2, 3, 4, 5 gnomes. All right. And then if you don't have your gnomes, could you use some sort of the donkeys or the hippos, or like what else could be fun and cheerful in here? So I'm trying to get that so it doesn't glare at you guys. All right. So super cool with this one. It's a fun fold as well because it goes like this. With this class, you guys, you'll also get 6 sheets of the designer series paper from The Greatest Journey as part of your class. And this guy is The Spring is Everywhere. And then we got the little mushroom house on the inside. It's a fun fold. And then this one, thanks to Wendy Lee, she gave me 2 swap cards that inspired me so much to make these bookmark cards for you guys. So Diane Bogenhagen helped me design these last week, and they turned out super cutesy. And so on this one, your clouds that will already be cut for you. You'll already get a punch. And so if you don't have more cloud stamps, you could always just leave it blank and stamp a sentiment. And you get a little stuff to make a bookmark. And then here's the other bookmark card. And this one comes off like this. And then there's something on the back. And so what happens is that goes on to the edge of your book, your page on your book. And so it sits right inside that designer series paper like that. And the inside, I wrote 2 recipe cards. I got to color my gnome yet. But so there. So these are the Friendly Gnomes class, you guys. That is set for the first Tuesday in April. It's an online only class, and it is free with an order only. And that's Friendly Gnomes. You guys, there's so many classes, so many classes. And that doesn't even include over here. You guys, what we've got coming up on Monday is Let's Just Stamp with Beauty of the Earth. I only have 2 left of this class, and then it's gone. By the Bay, I haven't even counted, but that's coming up the week after next. So if you still want to get in on this, I think I still have probably at least 15 of this class ready. Yep, but it's in like 2 weeks from tonight, I think. So that's By the Bay. And then the monthly class next week, Thursday, is called Monthly Class with March. This one, you guys, I have some left of this one as well in case you still want to get in on this one. It features Around the Bend, the Easter Bunny, and the Nested Friends. The ink paper scissors, that's for later this month, as using Regency Park. And so we're making these cards right here. And so that, I still have space on that, maybe 15 or 20 spots as well. In case you guys haven't seen ink paper scissors for April yet, it features Playing in the Rain, a little shaker card, a traditional shaker card, and a fun fold here. Oh, the 3 of these are, 2 of them are fun folds. One's a movement card and one's an awesome card. So in case you guys missed it, I have about, I think 30 people are signed up. I'm planning for 68. So I'm half full on this one, and it's the end of April. And then if you guys missed it too, this is Fancy Flora. 4 cards actually for Let's Just Stamp next month. So you can always get signed up for that. There's 4. And then I have 2 done for the monthly class for April, and they feature these 2 cards. The other one's going to be Marigold Moments. And so that one's, I tried to work on it. I would have had it done if I wouldn't have had internet issues. That's all I can say. All right, so you guys, I have a lot down the pipeline for you guys for classes. Almost everything you can get here is still available. I even have the honeybee sampler. I did not bring that. I didn't want to break the frame and drop it in the night on the sidewalk. So the honeybee stayed home. That honeybee frame, I'm over about half full for that one too, in case anybody would still like to sign up for that. Yeah, you guys, everything that I just showed you is on my website. You can find it in my events calendar at cardsbychrisb.com. It's all in there. If you have any questions, just reach out to me if you need anything. You can either pay for classes or get them free with an order. It just depends on the class. Some are fee-based only, some are order-based only, and some are either. So it just depends what you're wanting. All right. I do have some cards here. We'll announce some winners, you guys. I think I have, let's see how many cards. I have 8 cards that I got some winners drawn, so I can share with you who the winners are. And then I'm going to do a little door prize drawing. I'll pick a couple people from this class. I have some extra Sale-a-Bration stamp sets, and I'll reach out to the winners to see if they have them yet or not. And if they have them, then maybe they don't want them, or maybe they want a second one. But I'm going to pull a couple names from the class and see if anybody else wants them. No, Laura, my internet is not working. So you're going to have to watch back from the beginning and you'll hear the whole entire story. So yeah, internet has been shady for a whole week now and it's not pleasant. So thank goodness I have Diane and Bogey that I can come over here and squat and use their internet. All right, you guys. So I'm going to flip the camera down. I'm going to share with you who we got for some winners. All right. So this is the January monthly class. I did it back in January. In case you want to watch this video, it is out there in my YouTube channel. It's called January monthly class. So in case you're like, oh, I missed that class, I want to see how to make those cards. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. We have Cindy Runtree. Yay, Cindy. Congratulations. We have Miss Susan Beranek. Beranek. So Susan, you are new to me. I don't think I've ever worked with you. I don't have your address. You would need to give me your address if you want me to send this cool fun fold to you. And when you open it up, it goes like this. Baba White Sheep. And then it opens like that. So Susan, I need your address. All right. Winner, winner, chicken dinner is Sarah Mitchell. Yay, Sarah. You are the winner, winner, chicken dinner of this one. I have your address. So when you guys comment like this in the feed like this, when I go swipe my finger and I put my finger down and whoever's name it lands on is how I pick that. So you three were the lucky winners of those. Now this was Fitting Florets. It was the second class of the new year. It was, I believe, like January 5th. And it was so fun to do this class. I really loved it. This was a Stamp-a-Stack, you guys, using Fitting Florets. And so these were the 5 cards that we made. And if you missed this one, definitely watch it. It was so pretty, like that one. Love it. And then the colors are so soft and soothing. So my winners here. Oh, Kathleen can't wait for her Stamp-a-Stack. Yay. Yes, exactly. All right. Winner, winner, chicken dinner is, we have Miss Joan Ballinger. Ballonger. Joan, you are also new to me. I don't have your information. So if you want this pretty card mailed to you, you'll have to reach out to me. Give me your address. Winner, winner, chicken dinner of this one is Miss Darlin Blaze. Darlin, I have your number and address, so I know where to send that one. Winner, winner, chicken dinner is Deb Norman. Yay, Deb. Complete with cat fur on the back here for you. So, Deb, you got this beauty. I think this one might have been my favorite out of all of these. And it's not purple and it's not pink. I do like this one a lot, but there was something about this one that I absolutely loved. So, Deb Norman, you are the winner of this one. The winner, winner, chicken dinner of this one is Miss Pat Thomas. Pat, you're going to get this one in the mail. I have your address. Hi, Jennifer Summers. And the last one, last but certainly not least, goes to none other than Miss Carol Alanis. Carol, I know where you live. I don't know personally, but I have your address. So I did pretty good, you guys. Out of all 8 cards, I only need addresses for 2 people, Miss Joan Ballinger and Miss Susan Beranek. If anybody knows them, I'd love it to send their cards to them. And if I don't hear from them, I don't know where to send their cards. But all the rest of them, I know where to send them. So yay to everybody who won a card. Yay, yay, yay. Yes, Shirley, some great classes coming up. I couldn't agree more. You guys are going to keep me busy. Okay, so let me put those away. And then what I'm going to do is grab my book. And we are going to go to Sale-a-Bration Celebration. And we're going to pull up the random number generator. And we had 47 people for the online version. Sorry, my head wasn't there. We have 47 people for the online version. So I'm going to pull up the random number generator. And we are going to put 47 people in there. Random. And we're going to do 47. So you guys, just as a reminder, I'm going to be live tomorrow, either here or at my house, one of the two. But I'm planning to start at 3. Oh, Sherry Stewart said, don't forget to like the video. Thank you very much, Sherry. I think I need a little bit more time of buffering at the end, especially if I'm here to get home. Because I got gals starting to come over at 6. So I feel like I'm going to start Memories and More tomorrow at 3. And then hopefully finish by 5:30 and be home by 5:45. That's the plan. Now, if that's too early for anybody that signed up for class, don't fret. It's okay. Don't worry. You can always catch the replay. The most important part of that video is going to be watching the beginning part and knowing how to put your card kits together and going through that. So that's what we'll do first in the video. All right, you guys, I'm gonna flip the camera back down and we're gonna click the word generate and see who won. Number 9, okay. Number 9 is Miss Michelle Cinto. Yay, Michelle. All right, and then I'm gonna click generate. Number 38 is Sandy Wicklander. Yay, Sandy. And then I'm gonna pick one more. Number 24 goes to Vonda. Yay, Vonda. Saya. I have a hard time saying your name. Saya? Just say it really fast, right? Saya. So I have different stamp sets here that I have extra from Sale-a-Bration. And so what I want to do is reach out to each of you and see if there's one that you don't have, because it would be important to me to give you something you don't have versus giving you something you already have, because nobody wants 2 of something usually, right? Unless it's a consumable product. So, all right. So I say yay to Vonda, and we had Sandy, and we had Michelle Cinto. So wonderful. And then we had 8 other people win cards. So we had lots of winner chicken dinners tonight. So that's awesome. All right, we did good, you guys. Again, the buffering was only for like the first 8 minutes I watched it. As soon as you guys started to tell me that it was good, it was about 8 minutes in. So that's good. So that might happen tomorrow as well. I just know that if I start working on the internet issue again tomorrow, it's going to suck my time up. And I don't have time to have my energy sucked into the internet, you guys, especially with my retreat this weekend. So I think most likely I will plan to do the live from here again. And we don't have another live class then until next week. And so that will give me Monday to work on the internet stuff. I just roll my eyes with it. So yes, so that's my game plan with you guys. So, okay, we did good. All right. So you're very welcome, Carol Alanis. Yay, all the purple hearts. I love it. Okay. Yay. And Vicky says congrats to all the Lucky Duck winners. So, okay, you guys, I think that I have the mission accomplished for tonight. For everybody that we did our envelope book. That was the main thing. I also wanted to go over classes with you. Just let you know where I'm at with quantities. I've had to get to the point where I had to like set certain numbers in my head for classes, and then when they're gone, they're gone. And so that's why I was like, I know that as I get down to the end of some of those, somebody might say, oh, I missed signing up for that. Let me get signed up for it. She just reminded me. So that's why I do that. So there's a lot coming up for the next month, you guys. And so wow. So, well, thank you everybody for your love and your support and all the good wishes with the internet and everything in between with the business. You guys are amazing. I'm so lucky to have you guys as my stampers on this journey and crafters on this journey with me and through all this crazy stuff that we do. We definitely love to fly by the seat of our pants and make things happen, don't we? But we always get it done. So yay, Deb just saw that she won. I love it. But you guys, I really enjoy doing this, and I do appreciate your patience as much as you appreciate my patience. And so we always get through things and we make it happen. And it might not always go as planned, but my mom has taught me that you just punt. And so we just punted tonight. And thank goodness I had somebody to catch the ball. So all went good. All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to sign off for now, and we will see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central for the Memories and More class, or you can catch the replay. And it'll always be there. And wish us luck for a wonderful retreat with lots of crafting and inspiration. I'll get on my data, I think, for the weekend and do a quick live during the retreat at some time. It'll be an impromptu on my Facebook page, but it'll be maybe a Facebook live using data and not internet, because otherwise it won't work. So, all right, you guys, lots of sunshine, love, and hugs to you. We'll see you later. I'm going to count to 10 just in case it needs not a minute, but 10 seconds to end. But if you guys want to pop off, you already can. I'm just going to count to 10, and then hopefully that the video doesn't cut out. And I will do a winner's post for the morning at some point so that you guys can see all the winners as well. Oh, you guys have a good night as well. All right. Definitely will watch ASAP. Sorry I missed the granddaughter comes first. Absolutely, Laura. Your granddaughter always comes first. All right, you guys. Love you long time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,